What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Daryl Nyams with the episode. We're back with a big one. We have Zādok. What's going on, brother?
What up, brother? You good?
I'm good. Wait,
What's up, G?
Sure, bro.
This nigga has done so much work. Would I say behind the scenes?
All over the scenes, though.
All over the scenes, you know? Yeah, in front of the mic, behind the mic, but as far as I'm concerned, you have already hit legendary status. You know, you had a Grammy Award winning artist hit you from the US, say, dog, we're working on this production and I need you on this. That was Lil Nas, right?
Yes, sir. I mean, it was his team, but close enough.
Tomato, bro.
Yeah. We gotta be clear about these things, you know? Yeah.
No, it was him because that's his representation, you know? That doesn't happen by chance.
Yeah.
What did you feel like when that happened?
Look, to be very honest, I'm a product of the internet, right? I'm a child of the internet era and what became careers built off of the
internet in blue?
Bloom. I'm not from Bloom, bro.
Where you from?
I'm from Durban. What you talking about? Now I'm from the OT1, baby.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I studied in Bloom. I studied in Stellenbosch for a bit, and then I, like Kanye, dropped out.
Yeah.
But yes. So they reached out via the internet because they saw my stuff on the internet, and then IG, one thing leads to another. Yo, we got this project. I have the experience, so I was able to deliver. I barely had 24 hours to send back something before they had rehearsals in LA. The first project was the BT Awards, actually.
24 hours.
Yeah, it was crazy, bro. I had a cousin, actually not a cousin, I had a friend who worked at, what's this? He had worked at an energy drink company. Just send me a truckload of energy drinks, bro. I can't sleep, bro.
Yeah.
Just send me, and they delivered that same time. I worked through that thing through the night. Sent it through, and the final product I sent through around 6 p.m., 5 p.m. our time, which is like 9 a.m. theirs.
Yeah.
Which is when, that was like my cut-off time.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, so what, they sent you the music?
So they sent me what they'd worked on, and they sent me the specifics of how they wanted the performance to go. We had like a conversation before that. So we had like a verbal conversation, phone call conversation.
Yeah.
Shout out to his team, Take a Day Trip. Denzel reached out. We had a conversation, and then we just kind of figured out what we wanted to be musically. And then after that, I just worked on it, added my stuff, added my sounds, synth bass elements, hits, and things like that.
Yeah.
For the arrangement, and then send it back.
That's incredible. That's incredible. You say that you already had the experience because you've been working on this music thing for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
How does your journey start? How do you realize that, yo, this is the path that I'm taking?
So that's a crazy epiphany I had the other day, is that I've been doing music for the better half of like 2 decades. Yeah, I started playing publicly when I was like in church, that is, for services. I started playing around the age of 5, right? But I didn't have a personal conviction about doing music until I was 21. So that took me about 16 years of doing it every other day.
Before you said, I'm going like this.
I'm actually going to do it. And that took me dropping out, me going through my own type of mental situation where I totally felt suffocated, and then realized, okay, I'm not going to flourish or be successful or do anything in the space that I'm at that moment. Yeah. And I had to make the decision and realize that this is what I'm supposed to do and this is how I'm meant to attack it, and that's what I did. And then from that moment onwards, I never looked backwards. I just took the leap of faith. Whatever opportunity came, and it came, and I took it with both hands. Bro.
Yeah. What were you doing before this?
I was a student.
Oh, you were a student?
I was a student.
The books. The nigga didn't study for the test. Yeah. Says, no, I must do music. Yeah, this is my calling.
I was studying marketing.
Yeah. Oh, incredible.
Yeah, I was a marketing student, and then I dropped out. I was like, I'm lying to myself. I'm lying to my parents.
Yeah.
You know, I apologized to them, and then I was like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna make it work, but I'm gonna do it from a business perspective, which is how I've approached my entire career. You know, from the get, it's always been, okay, how do I find strategic marketing opportunities or marketing gaps in the market for me to like exploit,
penetrate.
Yeah.
Okay, so you drop out.
Yeah.
What's your next move?
My next move is to do what every kid with data and a phone has, is make videos. So that's what I did. I went back to Bloom because I'd been studying in Bloom. I got like a bus ticket and a laptop, and that was that. And I went to Bloom, some dingy ass apartment in Bloom.
Yeah.
My rent was what, like $900?
Damn.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah, and then I had like this one gig that I was supposed to have, that I was going to pay my rent for that month. And then it fell through the day I landed in Blue. Crazy story.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, things eventually worked themselves out. I started working, I started posting my videos.
Shit.
I started like going, one of my videos hit like 100,000 views online, on Facebook, and then like it was a remix of that Pots. Remember, I made the things that made the Pots Not to Be Done. Yeah. I remixed that video, and then
that took off. That blew up.
That blew up. That video blew up. News reached out. They want to do like an interview, something like that, and I was like, okay, cool. So I am who I think I am in my head. You know, that was one of the notifications to say, okay, you are actually that guy. Yeah. Fast forward like a year or so.
Yeah.
I start doing a lot more videos because I'm consistent, because I have the time.
Yeah.
This is all I'm doing every day.
Yeah.
So I'm making the videos. I'm going in. I'm just doing this, but I'm doing it because I love the music.
Yeah.
My priority was always doing songs that I liked and doing shit that I wanted. Not just because it could get me notoriety or fame or publicity, but more importantly, it was the authenticity to what I prefer and what I like.
Yeah, I know my nigga still reads books, you see. Notoriety. The words are coming through. Yeah, appreciate that. Okay, cool. So that thing starts taking off. E-News reaches out. The video does views on the internet. How do you connect with... So the biggest artist in entertainment who I read that you connected with first was JR.
So funny story.
Yeah.
I moved to Joburg, and my first gig, the first show that I bagged when I moved to Joburg, was a European tour for Dream Team.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that was just towards the end of like their peaking era.
Yeah.
Around there was that Levels EP that they just dropped, and that was like my first big thing.
Oh wow.
Obviously, you know, being in Joburg, you're in and around the industry, so things happen. My full-on entranceway into the industry was Feel Good Live. Feel Good Live was like really the platform that really kind of placed me where I needed to be, and it was where Jay and I kind of encountered each other, and we realized, okay, well, he realized that, hey, yo,
hey, this sounds too much.
Hey, yo, there's some crazy happening
too
over
much.
there. So what had happened was, we knew each other via mutual people, apparently. I didn't know this. He told me after.
Yeah.
So how I ended up on Feel Good Live is one of the musicians that I knew in the game, shout out Magic Hands, couldn't make one of the episodes. Yeah. I pull up, and I'm a resourceful person, and I knew that another person couldn't make that episode also, right? So I came with my friend, and I said, my brother, bring your sticks, because you might have to play drums. Just be aware. Turns out they needed them to play, right?
Oh, wow.
So that was like me already facilitating in terms of my
the
skills.
music director.
Being personnel management, the type of thing, you know. So eventually I then, oh no, before that, on that episode, I'm landing and meeting who? Sjava.
Damn.
That's the Sjava episode. That is the first time I did a Feel Good Live, was the Sjava episode. And that's how my relationship with JR unofficially begins, because he's watching via a iPad.
Yeah.
We have him on the iPad. He doesn't know who I am per se yet. And then he comes the next week, because the band still couldn't make it again, and I had to fill in. And I ended up being the guy, Feel Good. I ended up directing the rest of the show, you know, for the rest of that season. The first season, second season, third season. That was my initial foray into the industry. There's a lot of stories around that, but that's how Jay and I connected.
That's incredible.
We first officially met on the Big Star Johnson episode.
Oh wow.
Of Feel Good Live, and that was a crazy episode from a musical perspective. For me, that's my top 3 episode at Feel Good Live.
And then number 2. Sjava.
Yeah.
Number 1, we know. But
Ricky
everybody.
Rick, baby. Ricky Rick. I'm sorry. Dog.
Really?
Yeah, that was my favorite episode for me. The one that I played.
What is your favorite episode?
I'll probably say Sjava, bro.
Yeah?
I love this Sjava more.
Man.
Sjava, I'll tell
but
you
maybe
one
because
thing.
I really connected with the music, and I think he walked everyone through the story of
it's a personal story for me.
Yeah.
So the only reason why I don't really rock with the Sjava episode like that is because of the relationship I had with the music at the time. I didn't know the songs like that. Right?
Makes sense.
So I eventually started working with Sjava towards the end of that year and the year after that, and then it was like just for the past 4 or 5 years we worked together, and we even made music together. We've done a couple of songs together, things like that. But it was more a thing of, once I realized and understood the songs properly, I was like, damn, I wouldn't have done that. You know?
Yeah.
You know, I would never interpret the song like that, because I now have the introduction to the music.
An understanding.
And an understanding, exactly. Because at the time, I didn't necessarily know his music like that.
Okay, know
exactly.
the songs. That's crazy.
But what was your favorite joint?
Yo, come on, man. That doesn't make any sense. Nobody has a better episode than Keenan. AKA has the best fucking episode.
You know what?
Yeah.
So here's the thing about why I don't rate Keenan's one as the best.
Yeah.
I love you, dog, man. But
you fucked up.
No, I was there.
You fucked up.
I wasn't playing that day. I was there, but I wasn't playing that day.
Yeah,
We met, but I wasn't playing that day. I was still Master A flat.
Yeah.
However,
okay.
Yeah, it was still Master.
Shout out Master A.
Yeah. But at the time, the concept of the show was to strip down the songs and do them in a way that you won't hear them at the gigs. That's the concept of Feel Good Live. It's Feel Good Live.
I got you.
So the musical concept of the show is I need to hear it in a way that I won't hear it elsewhere. So that was my only like touch and go area about his performance. Because I was like, you know, I mean, you know
I got you.
So, but nonetheless,
it was lit. For me, I guess I'm biased. I'm a huge fan, but I hadn't seen him on stage like that. You know what I mean? Just his personality, the way he was playing with the records, you know, I thought that was incredible. Okay, and then, you're on Feel Good Live. Oh, so you weren't on the Keenan episode.
No.
And then you continue doing your work.
Yes.
But I want to speak on the Zādok episode. That was crazy. For me, that was the first time I saw you. That was the first time I really heard, like, okay, there's this bro, it's too much. Then you start doing your research. Scroll down a year or so later, there is a camp happening in Bryanston for King 98, and there's a lot of artists, whatever, happening there, and you're in the building. There's this bro with the afro and the beard, you know. The music is happening. There's a lot of great artists, you know. There's great music being made, and I'm like, yo, but what does this guy do, you know? Because I've seen him, you know, making music, but now it's like he's not in there. And then he just walked in the room for 5 minutes and he said, okay, give me the keys. And he left. Yo, the moment you go back in there, it's like crazy, you know. How long have you been like working on other people's music?
So it's instinct. The whole story, I say that, and then I'll give you context as to why I say instinct. So for me, working on music is instinctual, right? And ultimately, it's because we move each other emotively via the vibrations that we make, right? Which is the sounds, how they make you feel affects you personally. So when I'm in these sessions making these songs, as much as I'm making it for somebody else, it's still my imprint. It's still my creativity on it. Which is why I feel like I'm able to do so many different things, because I'm able to compartmentalize the reality that I am still who I am in different roles. So, case in point, in a lot of those sessions when I would be called to be a session musician, that's who I was, right? I did that on, like, for example, with a project like Mass Country, which we'll get to later. But like on a project like that, I initially entered the project with a lot of that energy, creatively, but also more importantly, I had to look at it overall and holistically and say, okay, cool, what's the sonic direction? Hello, hey, lady doing a curve, bro. Damn. But yeah, I'm just trying to approach the whole project holistically, and that's how I imprint my creativity onto it. So whenever I was working on other people's stuff, it wasn't necessarily me not being myself. You get that? So I think that's kind of where you find creative release in saying that, okay, I'm still being a creative, even if it's not my name on the project, it's still me. You get me? So that's how I've gotten away with working on so many other people's stuff while working on my own. I think that's what you were trying to ask me, is that how I balance that. That's honestly the reality. Is just I am who I am wherever you put me. Point blank period. And I'm not going to not be me.
But bro, it's quite fascinating for me, because it sounds like you wear a lot of hats, and it's just like when you pursue this thing, were you always aware of the specific hat did you have a specific hat in mind, and you found yourself wearing 3 other hats? What is that like for you? Because you do quite a number of things.
I'm gonna bring
I'm really curious to know.
I'm gonna bring
Was
it back to
always
this
there?
word,
Yeah.
instinct.
Yeah.
So for me, when I'm in different scenarios or different roles,
Yeah.
I apply myself to what the role needs,
Okay.
right? Irrespective of what the role is, but what the situation in that moment requires is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And that's down to who I am as a person who's thriving on instinct, and some might call it gut, but it's just having the intuition and the discernment, shout out church, to recognize, what is what in the
Yeah.
moment and what's required in the moment.
Yeah.
So if in the moment it's a music director that's needed,
Yeah.
I will serve that role.
Yeah.
If it's a producer that's needed, I will serve that role.
Mm.
If it's my time to be an artist, it's my part. You understand? If I have to DJ a set, I'ma do that shit.
Yeah.
You get me? So it's basically based on instinct and what is needed in the moment. That's honestly, it's the one. I hate giving advice, but if I do, I always say to my niggas that, like, serve the moment and the moment will serve you. It'll always serve you.
Ah, that's deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of what Chris Rock said about like relationships and stuff, and you compare that to playing a tambourine.
Yeah.
So, like, at some point you're playing the tambourine, but it might seem insignificant, but when it's that your role, you need to do it like it's the last day.
Yeah, literally. That's
But have you always had that? Where does that ability to reconcile, that ability to function in different spaces, is something that you're always aware of? Because for a lot of people, we go into certain spaces and we're like, yo, listen, my thing is this. If you don't give me this, fuck this shit. I'm not gonna do this shit. And it's even worse for you because you have existed in different spaces where you have done some BET stuff, you have done like major stuff, and then you come back and you're doing a role that might not be as significant as that role. How are you able to actually dissect that and be able to be comfortable?
It's very
in that role?
important. It's very important to live in the context of the world that you're in.
Yeah.
Né? I have all of these things that I've done by the grace of God, and I've had the opportunity to do right.
Yeah.
The context of the world that I live in is that those things don't impact some random kid in Soweto or some kid in
Wherever.
Alex
Yeah.
or wherever
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Umlas.
So
That doesn't impact them.
Yeah.
How a song makes them feel impacts them more than, yo, I did that on BT type situation,
Yeah.
right? So that's the context of the world that I'm in. So I don't live based in some out of context world where, okay, I've done this and I've done this, but ultimately I was working from here, right? I wasn't there. I did the work here. And as soon as I do something crazy on an international stage,
Yeah.
it doesn't change who I am. So I can walk out now in the mall,
Yeah.
and everybody here won't know that
Yeah.
I just worked on what award show. I just worked on the Lil Nas Montero World Tour.
Yeah.
No one's gonna know that. Or I have the #1 album in the country. No one knows that. You don't live outside of the context of your reality.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm able to. People call it being like grounded. It's not really being grounded. It's being honest.
Yeah.
Ultimately, if you're honest to yourself to say, okay, cool, this is the world that I live in, and this is what the world around me requires,
Yeah.
then that's who I am. I find it easy to correlate those things. So, for example, I don't negate the importance of being that guy or standing your ground and saying, actually, I deserve 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or fuck you, I've done this.
Yeah.
It's part of why I love and respect Keenan so much, is because he was that guy, and he knew what he deserved, and he didn't back down from the type situation, right?
But still very humble.
But still very humble, and the humility is based on honesty because he knows who he is.
Yeah.
Which is why I wasn't scared of having conversations with him to say, bro, and he hated this, and then he would use it and flip it against me, but I would always be like, bro, you're crazy talented. Like, I don't know if you realize this, but you are very, very talented. And he'd be like, forget about it. 5 minutes later, I'm the best, boy. I'm the best, munna. Do you know what I am? Type situation, because that's who he is.
Yeah.
He wants to be the one to tell you
Yeah.
that I'm the best.
Yeah, don't tell me.
Don't tell me.
I know, right?
I know who I am,
Yeah.
right? But ultimately, it was that thing of real recognized real, and being able to understand the context of the reality of, I'm an extremely talented human being.
Yeah.
And when I'm telling you, nigga, that you are good, it's not just me saying it because
I'm a fan.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I know what the fuck you're doing. I see the gears shifting in your mind when you're chopping these samples. You're crazy. You're crazy with that shit, and I respect that. I'm gonna let you know I respect that. I'm also let you know when you're full of shit too.
Yeah.
But type situation, you know. But yeah, so that's how I've managed to navigate it, honestly. You know, it's to be able to say, okay, this is my reality. This is what my reality requires.
Oh, nice. That's dope.
And honestly, that to be able to live like that, think like that, requires you to have very uncomfortable conversations with yourself.
Yeah.
And to be aware of who you are and what you are in your space.
Yeah.
So how do you and Keenan meet? We had an interview with Son. He was singing your praises. He said you plugged a lot of people into mass country, including himself. How do you meet him?
Keenan. So Keenan and I met a couple of times before we officially met. We met twice at like Rockets. We met in and around JR when JR was doing a project with the Cousins. I started a thing when I landed a job called the Cousins, which is just like a collective of musicians, producers, writers, and we make dope shit. We make shit happen, bro. That's what we are. You know, and our tagline was winning. That was it. So JR was like running with it, talking about the Cousins. The Cousins are doing this, the Cousins are doing this. So he kind of knew of us in that way and kind of knew about me via that, but we didn't have a actual meeting until Joburg Day 2019. Joburg Day 2019 is where him and I officially met and we started working. I get a phone call that he needs a keyboard player, music director. There's a lot of things be happening behind the scenes regarding that. Long story short, I go to his house, he asks me, can I do it? This is hours before the show. A couple hours before. He's like, yo, can you do this job? Do you trust yourself? I said, dog. Now, bear in mind, I've been doing big shit at this point in my career. I've been with Sjava. I'm music director of the Channel Oprah 20th celebration with JR. We co-music directed the thing together, which had a lot of artists on the line.
And JR is too much already.
It's too much already, dog. And then like JR, one thing about JR that I respect, and he didn't let me slack. He was him.
He pushed you.
Yeah, he pushed me. Said, "Come back, you can do something better. Come back, you can do something better." He came with that approach to me to say, "Bro, I see greatness in you. I'm not gonna let it slide." Type situation, you know. And I'm forever grateful to him for that. I'm also kind of grateful to Ricky for how he plugged me as well. They both kind of, in fact, all these niggas became bigger brothers to me in a crazy way. But yeah, Joburg Day. How I met Keenan. Go to the house. Okay, this is Benjamin. Yo, can you do the show? Yeah, I can do the show. Do you know who I is? Yeah, okay, cool, sharp. I play the songs for him. I play them. I'm like, dog, bro, I got this. Trust me. Show my triggers. We all set. We rock. Joburg Day happens. It's shaky, it's rocky because I missed one of his cues at the end where he wanted to change the last song to All Eyes. I didn't catch that cue because I'm so freaking stressed at the time. I'm worried about directing the band. I'm worried about communicating to him. I need to talk to him in his ear. I need to give him hand signals as well. I need to switch off my mic. I need to control the tracks on my right hand, and then I also need to remember to play keys at some point in
That's
time.
a big debut.
That's a big debut. And all of these things that happen, I'm just like, I just need to be in the zone. On top of that, I just need to have the vibes. You know, more than anything, if you see me on stage, you'll know that I need to be in it. Like, I'm in it. When I'm in it, and I don't need anything else. I just want to be in the moment so that I can serve whatever needs to happen. Right? So, it was hard, but we got there. We got through it. The next show is where fireworks went out. The next show was in Tembisa. Bro, I just went for blood, bro. It was pure instinct. I was playing. I have the video on my laptop.
On the keys?
I was on keys, bro. I'm just playing. I'm playing. There's a moment where he's doing some back and forth with the crowd. Mega. We want to party. And then he's doing like some jumping motion. And as soon as he lands, I drop the track same time.
Damn.
And his foot hits the ground, bro. And he loses his shit.
It wasn't ding, ding, ding.
No, it was Versace.
Yeah.
And that moment he turns around on the mic with auto-tune. Yo, you're hired, my brother. You're hired, my brother. You're hired, my brother. And that was the end. Like, we had a lot of ups and downs, but that moment was there.
Just to say, okay, we're rocking.
We're rocking from here on out. And that was that. We had like a deep heart-to-heart afterwards about like a lot of things, but that's how our journey began.
It comes down to the music.
It's always been about the music, and that's one thing I respected about him. And like the guys that I've been privileged to work with, is they've always prioritized the music. Yeah. Like, that's what our relationships were built around, and that's where it began.
And then Mass Country, he says, yo, my brother, you're the musical director, right?
So, this is 2021 now. This is fresh after the incident. We've just come back from Durban. Memorial funeral and stuff just wrapped in Durban. We're back in Joburg. A few weeks after that, he calls me to say, bro, this is what I want to do. I want to do a project.
Yeah.
I need you to put your team together. Put together the niggas you trust. We're going to do something
Why
crazy.
don't you call me?
Nigga, who this nigga, bro? But yeah, so he hits me up. He calls me, you know. If anyone knows, Keenan was known for those legendary 3 a.m., 4 a.m. calls, 5 a.m. calls. Dog.
Yes.
He'll wake you up and talk.
Yeah.
Talk and play you music or play you a verse that he just wrote at 6 a.m. or whatever. Anyways, that was one of those conversations. He says, yo, put together a team you trust. And I'm like, yo, this is what I do. I bet. You ain't gotta ask me twice. I know exactly who I want and how I would want to frame this project the way you are selling it to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nevo and I did that. We called together a lot of
shout out Nevo.
Yeah. We called in Christa Oraya, F Jesus, Teddy, Chopper I brought in towards the later stage. Safe I was there at some point. Right, from a writing perspective, I brought in Sun and Bali. Thank you. So those are the two guys I brought in, and that's where the project began. Ultimately, it was just that this is what we're gonna do. This is the concept. Funny enough, the initial concept of this project, there was a conversation about it being a joint project between AKA and Sjava.
Okay.
Because of the Maskandi influence that Keenan wanted to have in
the project.
Maskandi. Obviously, that didn't work out in the end, but we managed to still get Sjava on track. Bro, the rest is history, to be very honest. Like, it took almost 2 years putting this together, and I'm very proud of it. It was my secret mission to kind of like make it a Levels sequel, Levels 2 of sorts.
Already sounds better, I won't lie.
Look, bro, I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
Where he was as a person, where he was as a human being.
Yeah.
You're gonna love this project.
Yeah.
You're just gonna love it. It's one of those things where it's a great project, bro. Like him, love him or hate him. It's a great project, dog. There's this thing I was doing last year when we had lemons. We made lemons in February last year. We only dropped in August, September.
Yeah.
I walked around with the confidence of my nigga, I've got the most undeniable hit in life in my back pocket. And I remember I played it for Slick and Slick and his team, and I told the gents, I was like, you tell me this is not a hit with a straight face. Like, okay. Because ultimately it's undeniable.
What's that?
Lemons.
Yeah, Lemons.
Yeah. At the time, it's still
from the first 2 bars.
My brother. Says, boom, ding, What's funny is, from the time that I'd been working with Keenan, he'd been talking about sampling that song. But it took Oraya. So how the camp, let me break down the first camp. How the first camp went about is, with the producers, Keenan came up with like a bunch of samples, said, guys, these are the samples that I have, and these are the samples that I want you to flip. Right? And this is how I want, and these are the parts of them I want you to flip. And then he had done the chops himself. Gave them to us. He had already worked on some drums here and there as well. Took the project from there, and then it went to the top.
It's too much.
So I mean, obviously, where do you place this album? What makes this album different, apart from the fact that that's most likely his last album? What about it makes it different?
I don't think that had anything to do with anything, to be very honest. Look, life is fickle. Like,
could
you
happen
never know.
Time.
Could happen at any point in time. And if Levels was his last project, there's a lot of people that would have said, he's
not Levels. That's a bad example. The previous one.
Bhovamania. Not even Bhovamania. That collaboration.
No, but Bhovamania.
Wait, what's your question?
Bhovamania.
No. So my question was, what about it makes it
special?
Special.
So say that Bhovamania could have been his last.
Yeah, somebody would have been like, okay, holy water,
different.
2 cups in the morning. Somebody would have taken
if Bhovamania was his last.
Nigga, trust me, this is the internet.
Someone would have flowers still alive.
Yeah, somebody would have taken some lyric. I'm at the peak of my energy. I feel like Tony Motet. Somebody would have said he knew from that lyric. He knew. And standing on the mountain top, and it's over. Trust me, guys.
When we had the conversation with AKA, we told him, no, he loves Bhovamania.
I love Bhovamania.
So was split, right? I mean, Bhovamania, I mean,
Look,
it has like
let's be honest,
3-4
guys.
songs
Yeah.
for me.
Let's be honest. There's good records in Bhovamania.
Yeah.
There's unfinished records above him.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we agree.
However, it's not a shit.
It's not.
It's not.
No, I'm not saying.
I will
I'm
not-
not. Listen.
I will not
So,
stand
so,
on that.
so,
I'm
so,
sorry.
no, no.
Agree.
Let me say this.
I'm
Let me
sorry.
say this. Let me say this.
I'm
Let me say this.
sorry.
Let me say this. So name.
In the money, what don't kill you, make you strong.
Yo,
I stay supersonic in my element. Come on, bro.
Chill. Here's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The level that AKA played on as a musician. How many interviews have you done? Let me ask you.
Yeah.
How many interviews have you done with the episode?
Maybe 10.
Okay, we have 10 interviews.
Yes.
How many top 5s have you had AKA in 10 episodes?
All of them.
We're talking about artists, musicians,
yes.
people who are invested in music.
Yes. Yeah.
So the level that he played in
Fair,
as a
fair,
musician.
fair. I know what you're saying.
Like, so when
I know what you're saying.
we look at Bhovamania as a project, I'm not saying it's a bad project. I can listen to
That's what I'm
Bhovamania.
saying.
But I'm just saying, like, yo, the other shit, like, you can't compare Touch My Blood, Levels.
Guys, but you need to
can't
understand.
compare it.
Here's the thing.
But
You need
maybe
to
it's the
understand what it
contrast
was. It was
comparing
never
with
an
the-
album. It was
Yeah.
an EP.
Yeah.
It was a what's this? It was a what's the
And that's
word?
exactly what he said, right?
It was
Yeah.
it was
You say that-
literally it was almost a skit EP, so to speak,
Yeah.
because it was based in the concept of his love for WWE.
I love that you
Bhovamania.
acknowledge
You
this.
laid out
I
all the samples are all
love
over
that
that.
you.
Yeah.
I love
So
that
it's
you
not gonna
acknowledge
be
this.
fully fledged out
Yeah.
material. So I had to. That's how I had to.
I
emotionally
love
detach
that you
myself
acknowledge
from
this. Let's go back to our point now,
Okay,
right?
okay.
So our point is to say that you said, yo, Levels. You give the, and I said, yo, if Bhovamania was his last project, then we go forward.
No, we were talking about albums. His last album was Touch My Blood, bro.
Okay.
And let me tell you something, that's not a bad way to go out, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
okay,
but
okay.
yeah, but like I said, this project, amazing.
Yeah.
I'm proud.
he
I'm
would-
proud of my team.
Yeah.
I was proud of him.
Yeah.
Like we kept, bro. Like we I don't think we could believe how good the project was.
Yeah.
Because there's always that fear you have as a creative, as when you do something amazing. It's
Yeah.
that, can I follow this shit up?
Yeah.
You know, there's always that of, can I do it again?
Yeah.
And he never showed it, but I know as a creative, somewhere in the back of your head, it always sits.
Yeah.
And the fact that time after time, and we came back with, one night when we came back with Lemons,
Yeah. Yeah.
that
no.
brought a different kind of energy to
No
say,
doubt.
yo, you counted us out.
No doubt.
And there's a lot of people
No
that did.
doubt.
Yeah.
There's a lot of niggas that did, and we
Yeah.
know them.
Yeah.
We know them
And
niggas.
he said it himself.
There's a lot of
He
niggas
said
that
it
did
himself,
it, and if you listen to the project. But anyways, the point is, we came back harder than ever.
Yeah. Do you think Mass Country tops Touch My Blood? Because AKA said,
Don't do that to me.
no, you know why? AKA said Touch My Blood is his favorite album of all time.
He's saying it's difficult for him because he made this one.
Yeah.
No, but
So-
I mean, if
so-
you think
so-
that's the one, that's the one.
Yeah, it's the one.
Dog, emotionally it's the one. But look,
Creatives are hella
tough.
emotional.
Yeah, creatively speaking, I love it because I'm very heavily involved.
in it.
I have a memory attached to pretty much every single part of the project.
So you have a bias.
I have a bias to it.
So you must tell him, no. This is the one.
Yeah.
So this is the one.
Yeah.
No, without a doubt.
We really appreciate you
people-
giving us your time. We know that, this is like almost 2 weeks,
Yeah.
Yeah.
after. And you gave us your time. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we're really looking forward to seeing you out there more as an artist.
Yeah.
You say, for me it was like you said you're in marketing.
Yeah.
I know you play keys and you play instruments and
Yeah.
you write and you do all these
You know, what's
things.
funny is that I don't think about those things as things that define me because I've been doing them since childhood. It's like breathing.
It's who you are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think, if you call me to do a show now and play, I'm not thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to rock up, do my thing, be a howdy like a Saudi. Just tell me the songs that we're doing and then we're in there. You know?
Bro, I want to ask you 5 things. I just want quick, short responses.
All right.
How much of Mass Country was done by the time AKA passed?
All of it.
All of it was done.
So
So you guys
submitted.
submitted
Yeah.
already. Dope. What would you like this album to represent in AK's career?
I'm not the guy to answer that question.
Yeah.
I'm not the guy to answer that question. As much as I know you're asking me what I would like,
Yeah.
it's not my album.
Yeah.
You know, it's AKA's album. May soul rest in peace. So That's a question only he could have answered.
Yeah. What's your last favorite memory of AK?
It's not my favorite memory, but it's my last memory of him.
Yeah.
I went to the Thursday before he passed. I went to his house to go pick up my baby's phone that we had left there the night before.
A child or your girl?
Yes.
Which one? Which one? A child or a girl? Your baby's phone, is it your child?
Yeah.
It's a child?
So I left her phone
Your
at
child.
the house. Ne?
Your child.
And then
What is that Bruce saying?
and then actually the night before the last thing we did was make some music for Nadia actually.
Yeah.
We were working Nadia's new music.
Yeah.
Taking in a whole new direction. So, we were so excited about it though. Then Thursday night I go to fetch the phone. Keenan was on this new tip of telling us that he loved us. He hugged me, told me he loved me. I was like, yeah, dog, I love you too, man, you know. But in that, he stopped being awkward. This type of situation. But that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Damn.
That was it. It's crazy because you never know.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is you never know, and I've been having an interesting journey with like dealing with such things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you learn to understand and accept that this is the reality that you are given.
Yeah.
This is what you have to deal with, and
Yeah.
you can only deal with it the best way you can. You know. It's been crazy. I think losing him and Ricky in 12 months.
Yeah.
Blows I didn't expect. Those are blows I don't think any one of us could have
Yeah.
predicted. But
Yeah.
our best bet is just to look up,
Yeah.
you know, and be hopeful.
Fourth question.
Fourth question, what's your favorite 2 songs on that album? Just your top 2 favorite songs on that album.
They're not on the album.
They're not on the album.
They didn't make the album. My
Because
two
you
favorite songs.
didn't get the features?
No, my 2 favorite songs didn't make the album.
So, yeah. What about on the album?
On the
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have the trackers? Anybody get the trackers?
We can pull it out right now, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Let me pull it up right
Don't
here,
show the
bro.
back of that phone. We gonna see that baby.
There you
So,
go.
okay, so. Okay, there's every song here has something
Yeah.
to it, but Crown,
Yeah.
Crown and Spono.
Okay. So look out for Crown and Spono, people.
That's my.
I can't wait
okay,
for Crown
here's the
and
thing.
Spono. I
Wait,
can't wait for
wait.
the album.
Yeah.
Here's the chat. You gotta segment it.
Yeah.
So the lover boy in me, the one that loves love and loves
Spono
God.
not there.
Crown and Spono.
Okay.
The hip hop nigga in me, bro.
Yeah.
Mbuzi way.
Yeah.
Mbuzi way and Army.
Okay.
Bro, listen. That one is straight for the legacy, straight for the streets, bro. For the street, bro. Trust me, dog.
Yeah.
Like, there's a crazy story behind Mbuzi, dog. I was in a quick one. I was in a rehearsal session with Thato. So, I'm working on some music. We're jamming. This is like how many weeks ago? This is 4 weeks. We were jamming. This 2 weeks before. I think he didn't pass or something like that. A week or something. We jam. Then he spits this freestyle. My brother, I say, whoa. I said, bro, you just did something crazy. You don't know what you just did.
Yeah.
But we're gonna do something big after this. He said, okay, bets. Obviously, we don't know each other like that, so he's fighting it with him. This nigga holding the guitar saying we're gonna do something
What are
crazy.
you saying?
What is he
Hey,
saying?
you're holding the
But-
guitar.
And I'm just holding the guitar as well, but I'm like, no, don't worry. We're gonna do something crazy. Watch. Afterwards, I said, my brother, I need you on this record.
Yeah.
I need you on this record. Within 24 hours, bro, that nigga sent me the verse. The next day, I was in studio with Keenan. We were listening to the mixes. I said, Forbes, bump it this way. Hi, Forbes said, video call that man right now. Call him now. I said, video call.
Yeah.
Tight. That's
so hard.
Let me tell you something. And that is the song that like kind of kicks off the project to say, yeah, we're here now.
Yeah.
You get me? So, yeah, guys.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it. If you want to be experimental and be a musician.
I'm a musical director. We got the list. We got the list.
They're musicians. One of the song for music
Yeah.
is Everest. Ne?
Okay.
Everest and Ease.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But bro, there's something I love about you.
Yeah.
I thought it's important to tell you right here. I love how you put people on. It's just a really beautiful thing. I like that, you're not just shining alone. Everywhere you're going, you're opening doors, you're hitting up that person, you're plugging that person. I think it's a beautiful thing. I personally love that. And I just think that, God keeps blessing you because it's a rare trait. A lot of people just kind of feel like, yo, listen, this is my moment. I'm going to shine. You should stay wherever you are. I want to keep rising. And I think it's nice to see you always, opening doors and lifting people. I love that. Bless you for that, bro.
Thank you, man.
It's a beautiful trait.
It's encouraging to hear shit like that because, I don't consider myself the most talented bro, despite the ridiculous amount of talent that I have.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily consider myself the most talented bro. I always surround myself with people that I think are good.
Yeah.
And this is something I always tell the guys around me, that if I keep you around, you know you're good. So stop doubting yourself and man up type situation. And I always throw them in these like situations and hope they can catch it. And a lot of the time they do. Shout out to everybody that pulled up for a nigga. Shout out Nevo, shout out Christa, shout out FD, shout out Shiva, shout out Mbuzi, shout out Teddy, shout out Shocks, shout out Danny. Caruso, you know what it is. Shout out San Bali. Bali, hey guys, I need to tell you a story about Bali. Bali, and this is the last story I tell them out.
Okay.
Bali is one of the core songwriters on Mass Country with this man.
Okay.
I met Bali fresh out of high school, bro. And my friend's little brother kept telling me, yo, this nigga is the guy. Bro. He's producing, he's writing, he's rapping, bro. Like, he got the shit. He's going on. At that time, he's doing trap. Hey, yo, fast forward 4 or 5 years later, we're platinum together on Lemons. And I've brought him on, and he's now working hand in hand with Keenan, writing stuff and going back and forth. And Keenan's like, nah, I don't like that vibe. Coming, and they're bouncing ideas off each other. It was just a beautiful full circle moment for me. And I need to shout out everyone in the team. Tiamo, Benza, fucking everybody. I love you. Sia, Don Design. You name it, dog. Everyone part of the Bhovamania team, dog. We did it. We did our best.
Dope album. Whatever it is.
That good. Appreciate it. God bless you,
Appreciate it.
brother. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
And that's the episode. We out.
Sure.